And the topic is erosion of our liberty, and nobody cares, or most don't anyway. In fact, about half the population that I've noticed in the polls and in commentary want my country to go either to socialism as a economic and government way of life, or communism as an economic or government way of life. They want it to become a nanny state, and they're serious about it. There's a guy that used to be on TV here by the name of Dave Champion. I've had Dave Champion on my radio show several times as he was running for Nye County Sheriff. And Dave was on radio for a long, I forget how long he said he was on radio for, but it was a long time. And then he was on channel 46, which is now channel 25, locally once a week with a show about liberty. And Dave talked about the Constitution and liberty and freedom and so forth. And a year ago, next month, I believe it was a year ago last month, boy, the time flies, Dave had his last show locally. And it might have been 2 years ago now. Boy, time does fly. But I never forget the show, because as Dave was doing his show and telling people that he was walking away from the show, he said, you know, and I'm paraphrasing this because it's been a while ago, but this is a takeaway I got. You just don't care about liberty. He says, I've spent all this time and energy talking about taxes, the way things really are, government, the way things really are, the threats to our liberty, our freedom, and Second Amendment. And I've come to the realization I'm just wasting my time and energy. I'm talking to the wall. I'm delusionary. You guys just don't care. America does not care about liberty. So anyway, Dave also has a YouTube channel, and I watch his YouTube channel from time to time. And you know, you have to be dead and buried to not know that one of the top discussions going on right now has been the shootings that have taken place. And I covered this in some detail on Friday's radio show, my perspective on it. The guns don't kill anybody. We need to outlaw propaganda, not guns. But I'm not going to go over that again. But what Dave did was a video, I think it was around 15 or 18 minutes long, on YouTube. And he said on this show, I know again I'm paraphrasing this, that there's a solution about how to stop these far left, or they're not even far left, just the liberals, the Democrats, from wanting to go after our Second Amendment right. Yeah, there's a solution for it. You probably think, well, what is it? Take another case to the Supreme Court and have them even strengthen the Second Amendment? They already had the case a few years ago on the Second Amendment that addressed the rights to bear arms. Well, no, that wasn't Dave's take on it. Dave's take on it was that people that care about the Second Amendment, which we all should, people that carry guns on them, that either, they have them, concealed or not. Here in Nevada, here in Nye County, people walk around with guns on their hip, and you see it all the time, but you don't see this everywhere. But the point Dave was making, here's how you stop in the tracks these people that are anti-gun. Here's how you do it. You be prepared as a gun owner. Go get the training necessary to know how to use your gun. And when some wacko, like the guy in Dayton or the guy at El Paso, one of these shootings is taking place, you pull your gun out and shoot the guy dead right there in the spot. Bingo, done. Done. Now you can go on YouTube and see all sorts of videos of Walmart stores different places where there's shootings going on, people attacking other people in the stores, people getting shot at. You pull your gun out and you shoot them dead right there, the perpetrator, dead. And what that will show these people that want to erode the Second Amendment is that if it was not for having the right to bear arms, you are the weak one. You are the victim in these shootings. It's not a secret that people that do a lot of these mass shootings do it in gun-free zones. Yes, the shootings that have taken place, most all of this mass shooting take place where it's broadcast, it's posted, the guns are not allowed there. And that's where the shooters decide to carry out their evil deed. So we need to remove all of those signs because it's a Second Amendment right. You should not fear your neighbor that's carrying a gun, either concealed or not concealed. What you really need to be concerned about is these wackos that have been controlled by propaganda, brainwashed, some ideological spin that is they're insane, they're crazy, pulling out a gun and shooting people. No, you shoot them dead. If you are trained, know how to handle a gun, you shouldn't be wearing a gun in public anyway, in my opinion, if you've not thoroughly been trained in its operations and how to not shoot the person standing next to the person you're aiming at. In fact, there was a recent case of this, of a police officer coming to a person's house, I believe it was, and the person's dog was barking. No, it wasn't Gary Miller's. This is another case. That was a local case. But in this case, the woman was arguing with the police officer. The police officer got so mad, he pulled his gun out and was going to shoot the woman. No, he's going to shoot the dog, and instead he ended up shooting the woman that was standing by. So that shows you what we're up against here. But I got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, it's Ray the Flagman.
Hey, Ray.
Your champion is absolutely right. You're absolutely right also. There's a saying that most people, maybe they don't hear it often enough. In our society is a polite society. When the honest citizen carries guns, crime goes away. This has been established in Kennesaw, Georgia, years ago. All of a sudden, the town board and everything told people to start packing guns. Crime went away from Kennesaw, Georgia back in the late 80s. Before that, it was a crime-ridden town. This is one example of how the armed populace is actually the deterrent for all these bad things that are happening. And it's really scary because we're talking about the Walmart. We got walked into Walmart yesterday or something like that. He had a rifle on and a bulletproof vest. I just hope Walmart doesn't fall, find this as being like they got to put the signs up or whatever. Since 2003, I've been packing 2 guns in Walmart, and I've been packing 2 guns open out here for 41 years and never been bothered. This is what we need. Like, we need more people carrying and not being afraid to show the gun.
Exactly.
And that's why open carry is so important. I truly believe this. I've run for sheriff 6 times, and that has been my platform. Champion is absolutely right. This is what we need. You don't throw away the fire extinguishers if you're afraid of fire. How do you feel about that? You feel the same way, right?
Good point.
Yeah. The second thing I want to bring up, and I'll make this short, but what happened to Carl Mitchell in the Walmart parking lot?
Right.
I think you heard about that, right?
Yeah, didn't I send you I thought I texted you about that.
Yeah, but I just wanted to reaffirm what you because we're on the radio show. They didn't read the text. All right. It was on TV tonight, channel 25. They had pictures of Carl, his face,
Okay.
black eyes, swollen cheeks and everything. He also had a picture of the guy who assaulted him, Stephen, Hollenberger or something like that. And he came after Carl a couple times according to the TV show, and also through Carl's wife was found also. And evidently when he was being arrested, he kind of tackled with the cops, and his photo didn't look too good on the TV show. So you never know when it's going to happen or whatever. It was about something, some money owed from years ago. There was a dispute and you got to that Carl. You never know when somebody's going to attack you or whatever.
That's right.
Luckily, this guy didn't have a knife or a gun to do with Carl, because you know he was defenseless. He was putting groceries in his car. And I don't know if people know about this stuff. Like we see it on the local TV, but I don't know if it makes the newspaper or not as far as Mitchell being assaulted. But it's horrendous that you have to be terrified. You know, in the place where they live, you don't know what's going on. So I'm going to let you get back to your show. It sounds like you're on a roll there. If you really got a good one, I had a call earlier because I didn't want to miss out on it. So I said, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. This is great power to the people. Great blessing over and on.
Thanks, Ray, for calling in again. Always words of wisdom and keeping us updated. Yeah, Carl, I call him Carl the Tiger guy. This poor guy's had more problems living here in Pahrump. He just keeps finding a way. But those of you that weren't aware of it, you know, Carl was, and his wife, in fact, it was his wife's birthday. They were loading cars into their, they were loading groceries into their car at Walmart. And Carl was brutally ambushed and beat up, ended up in the hospital. And evidently it was some derelict that they had to fire years ago from, I don't want to get into that, I don't know the guy. But anyway, you know, which brings me another point I want to bring up. People stepping over people that have been knocked out on the pavement or brutalized or mugged, just leaving them lying there. People observing somebody getting wailed on and just standing and watching it and not going after the perpetrator. Now, I think I've told you guys this. When I had my accident in Kingman, Arizona, when I had fallen backwards out of my, it was stupid, but I lost my grip on the handrail on my motor coach, and it has airbags, and so the steps were quite a bit off the ground. And I was on the stop step, and I lost grip, fell backwards, and broke my back in 9 places, and destroyed my hips and everything. Ended up in a wheelchair for quite a while. I was laying on the pavement at the fuel pumps, because I had a big motor coach, 40-foot motor coach with a trailer behind it, and a couple walked right past me and got into a travel trailer and pickup, parked kind of along the curb and drove off, and left me laying there in the parking lot, right there in the blacktop. I'm still amazed that happened. They looked down at me and saw me there, and I was in a sense paralyzed. I couldn't move, and they left me laying there. And I had a few choice thoughts for them, let's put it that way. But that's the way it is, again. So, are you this way? I'm asking the listeners out there. Are you a person that would watch Carl Mitchell get beat up in the parking lot and do nothing about it? Were you in the parking lot there observing it? And are you ashamed of yourself? I think you should be ashamed of yourself to not step up to the plate. How about if you have a gun on you and you are in a store and you see somebody pull a gun and start to shoot at somebody, would you pull yours and shoot him? Would you? Or would you just turn your back and ignore it and go about your own business and, you know, that's their problem, not my problem? This is what's happening to our people. This is what's happening to your liberty and freedom. Dave Champion's absolutely right. His summation was on that video that nobody will follow my advice and do what I just said and shoot the perps, so that people realize that the right to protect, the right to carry, our constitutional right, is an important right for all of us. No, you gun owners out there, Dave's right, you will not take action. Very rarely do I hear of a person pulling a gun and stopping violence like that. Very, 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 very rarely. I don't hear it at all here in Pahrump. And there's a lot of people here with open carry. No, I don't hear any of you stopping these assaults or crimes here. No, you don't.